What is up, YouTube? I'm very excited for today's review. We're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm doing a music review today. I know we've only done food reviews, but we really want to try new things, and what better way than with Yay. So with that said, I originally wanted to start with the Kids See Ghost album, but basically seeing that there's a really big issue with the song titles, and they have like the wrong songs listed, and they switched it once, but now it's actually even worse than it was before. I'm just gonna start with Yay. A little bit of context. I am a little bit biased in his favor because I'm a huge fan. I was disappointed that it was only 7 songs, but then I was like, you know what? He's dropping some stuff with Cudi, and that was another 7 songs, so like 14 songs. That's not bad, and I know he's been working really hard producing all the music and everything. So honestly, I was a big fan of this. I liked it. It was like a little bit less like mainstream music. It was more like personal. It was more connected to him, and I think like that you could tell through the music. You know, I'm not gonna say that this is the best album that he's, you know, ever dropped or anything like that. I really thought that Yikes was a great song. Like, I don't know, I just vibed with it. And at the end of it, he's like, I'm on my bipolar shit. That's my superhero. It's not a disability. And like, he's really coming out, especially with everything going on. And obviously they just came out with a report that suicide is on the rise. There's been a couple of cases of suicide of, you know, pretty well-known people, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, and, you know, mental health is something that's really important right now, and he's the most in tune with it because that is him. It was like, you know what, like, he's back. I feel like, you know, Life of Pablo was like almost like a transition type phase, and now he's at, you know, this phase where he's like, this is who I am, I'm bringing it to you, I'm gonna just do whatever I want, you know, the Kanye that we all know and love. Ghost Town, phenomenal. So I love the sample, I love the beat. It's just like it's just a song about, like, you know, someday it's gonna happen. But like, it's just about pushing on, you know what I mean? You gotta just keep going, working towards your dreams, working towards your goals, reflect on the past, and it was a deep song for me. And I love the delivery. You know, it's slow, it's paced. Yeah, so those are probably my top 2 on Yay. I'm trying to do a pretty quick review. 7-song album. With that said, the way I see it is, if this was a 21, 22 song album, it would go up there as one of his higher albums, because I think that they would have continued putting fire on it. However, it is only 7 songs, and it's really not comparing apples to apples to compare 7 songs to a 22 song album. And that would just be stupid. But for 7 songs, it's very strong. I would rate it above Yeezus, honestly, and that's personal preference. And I actually loved Yeezus. Like I said, I'm a huge Kanye fan, so that's kind of hard for me to say, but I do feel like this is a very deep album, and it's, you know, the tone of this compared to some of his older stuff is just completely different, and I like the direction that he's going in. And not to say I don't like the old stuff, I just feel like as an artist you need to keep changing and developing and adapting. And it was very relieving to hear this kind of music in a world where we're hearing trap this and trap that and Glock 45, you know what I mean? So for me, I was like, okay, I respect this album. This album's true. This album's real. It's no garbage. And that's all I have to say about that. So on to the new album, which I'm assuming a lot of you guys are having the same problem I am, which is that, look, and they just removed a bunch of stuff. It's just real confusing. They switched it again now, so it says there's 13 songs. Yeah, it looks like they might have corrected it for permanently right now, but it's still just kind of confusing. Again, going into this album, I had kind of just a feeling that it was going to be more of a Cudi-ish vibe to the beats. Obviously Kanye produced it, but I just kind of had that feeling, and that's pretty much what this delivered. With that said, you know, it's almost like it was a Cudi's album with Kanye, which is how my friend James put it, and that's pretty much how I feel about it. But that's kind of funny because Kanye produced the music for it. But I know some people are about Cudi because, you know, it's almost like abstract, you know, his sound and his words and everything like that. So I understand you might need to listen to it a couple of times before you can really understand and appreciate what he's saying. And, you know, by all means, listen to it as many times as you want. But what they're saying is deep. And I know I just said that about Ye and everything, but on this level, it's even deeper. And also, Kanye's delivery was just, it was like almost back to like old Kanye, where it was just like a little bit more straight up. You know, he would just like, he didn't have as like good, you know, like delivery, where he would just kind of say things. But like, I actually liked it. Like, I thought it was nice. It was a little bit different than what he just dropped, which I thought was cool. And I'm trying to see if I could pull up some of the lyrics to specifically reference. Reborn, which was probably one of my top 2 on the album. He says, I was off the chain, I was often drained, I was off the meds, I was called insane. What an awesome thing engulfed in shame. I want all the rain, I want all the pain. I want all the smoke, I want all the blame. Cardio, audio, let me jog your brain. That last line was, first of all, very clever. Cardio, audio, let me jog your brain. So basically what he's saying, and it's funny because to actually understand it, you have to do what he's saying in the sentence, which he's basically saying like, my shit is so subliminal, so deep, so abstract that to understand it, you need to actually think about it and use your mind. But backing up to the beginning of that part, it was, you know, obviously he had like the whole Life of Pablo issue, and he had the breakdown, and he was on his meds, he was off his meds. So he's like, I was off the meds, I was called insane, and then what an awesome thing engulfed in shame. I think it's pretty easy to understand, but I know not everyone sees things the way that I see it. So basically what he's saying is, it was great that like I felt shitty. It was great that people said I was insane, because he wants the rain, he wants the pain, he wants the pressure, he wants all of the bad things. And he doesn't say why, but I actually kind of know why, because I kind of have a similar mindset to him, which is why I feel so connected to him, which is that in order to succeed, not just succeed, but in order to continuously get better, I call it perpetual growth, because you want to never stop growing, you never want to peak, you never want to, because if you peak then you decline, but if you're on a, you know, incline your entire life, then you'll never hit the peak. And that's why people say enjoy the climb, because that's what it's about. So he's saying he knows that in order for him to improve and get better, that he needs all that pain and the struggle and all of that, because diamonds are formed under the most immense pressure. That was fantastic for me. And then just the chorus of Cudi, like, I'm so reborn, I'm moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And I'm actually looking, and it just, for written by, it just says Scout Muscudi, so maybe Kanye didn't even write this and that was his line. But regardless, that is in sync with the song, which is like, I'm back, I'm stronger than ever. And that could go for both of them, because, you know, Kanye 2 years ago, or a year ago, and then obviously Cudi just got out of, you know, health facility for his mental, I'm not even gonna call them issues, for his mental situation. And the song's just about, I'm a new person, keep moving on. But with that said, I'll still take the pain every time, because that's where I need to move forward. And for me, the song is just one giant show of this ultimate self-awareness, which which is one of the most important things that a person can have, because without self-awareness, you don't know anything, you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going, you don't know who you are. That was fantastic for me. And then kids see ghosts, obviously. Yeah, so kids see ghosts. I'm not exactly sure who says this line, but same thing in the room, sitting by myself, finding heaven soon. Many things that will trouble you. Look beyond for a feeling like you never knew. Reaching out, hunting for the truth. I guess I'm just sick of running all this time searching hard for something. I can hear the angels coming. And it's again, that's that self-awareness where he's like, all this time, like, I've been chasing something and I got tired of trying to chase it, but now it's just kind of coming to him. Which is, I know I'm kind of pulling these lessons out and people might be like, Matt, that's not what they meant, but just keep in mind, this is my interpretation of the music. I think he's saying, I was foolish, I was chasing something, and then the second that I stopped chasing it, that's exactly what I got. And then the chorus is, civilization without society, power and wealth with nobility, stability without stasis, places and spaces. And then that again. I don't know. Deep albums, both of them. I enjoyed both of them. I suggest you check them both out. Kids See Ghosts and Yay. Ultimately, the question is gonna linger, which album is better? And the answer to that is, I'm not gonna say one is better or worse, because what I notice is that people's tastes change over time. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because I like it more that it's a better or worse album. It just means that right now, I would prefer to listen to it, and I bet you down the line it'll switch. Right now, honestly, I'm gonna be preferring to listen to Kids See Ghosts. And yeah, I've already listened to Kanye's album like 50 times, but mainly I feel like just the sound is a lot more abstract, which is totally personal preference. And that's why I'm gonna prefer it. I also just, Cudi's voice, there's just something about it, just his delivery I like a lot. So that's what I'm gonna say. They're two great albums. Are they the best albums they've ever dropped? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think it's fire. If there's any other stuff you guys want me to review, comment it down below. Say, yo, Matt, review this, review that, and I will be happy to. Let's get it, guys. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And Average Dude Nation, catch you in the next one.